This one is my favourite out of the three because, man, it gets straight into the action. When you think about this series, do you guys think of it as three different films or one big one because that was the way you shot it?
I think about it as, one big film that includes The Lord of the Rings. So it's not just, three separate films of The Hobbit, and this is the last one. This is the final piece in a massive, massive movie. That's the achievement here, I think.
Is it too soon to say what the legacy of the entire series will be?
Yeah, I think it is impossible to say. I think one of the things I'm curious to see as a person who's a massive Lord of the Rings fan when the movies came out originally is to see if The Hobbit really does run the test of time the way Lord of the Rings did, and if it will slot in as we plan for it to and as Peter planned for it to, or if somehow they will end up being divided entities. And I think only time will tell if that's been accomplished.
And Orlando, for you being on all the films, did it feel like a different experience doing The Hobbit than it did to Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, of course it can't be the same experience. Lord of the Rings was, first of all, my first movie, which is crazy, but it really felt like we were kind of chartering new ground and stuff. And The Hobbit was an extension of that in many ways, but there was, Peter was, he had a lot... many more weapons in the arsenal. Arsenal, thanks very much.
Yep. Got your back.
It was a lot of alcohol.
Oh, yes, I know.
Late night.
Taking
really
care of these boys today.
Big premiere. Totally.
Doing a little rusty.
But it was, but no, it was amazing. But Pete really, he sort of, this is his world. These are his world. This is his legacy for sure. And I think. The Hobbit is phenomenal, as it stands. But yeah, different experiences, but no lesser in any way. It was wonderful.
Peter Jackson's. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, my little opinion after watching the movie last night is I think it's the most beautiful of the movies.
Oh yeah.
I think the visual elements in this movie are just jaw-dropping, extraordinary. The battlefield, and there are some really moving, sad. Iconic images towards the end, and I'm excited for people to see.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fantasy fan. Dragons have never been my jam, but I did really like the movie because it does have a lot of emotional themes underneath it all. Yeah. Do you think you can't have one without the other? That's why it works?
You can't. I think if you create a sci-fi or a fantasy story and you forget to really focus on the characters and their emotional arcs, then you won't have what Tolkien created, which is a timeless epic piece that people will love forever. I think that's what makes Tolkien special.
That's the winning combination, isn't it?
Yeah.
Peter and Tolkien,
Yeah.
They're all fans.
It is a story of like elves and dwarves and orcs and stuff. But what I walk away with from Lord of the Rings, which I was such a fan of those movies, is very meaningful meditation on death and what comes next. And I know that a lot of the fans have connected to that idea, that very scary prospect of what happens on the other side here.
I think Peter is the master of also, because he's very, very known for his epic battle scenes. Yeah. And people got very excited when this film was entitled The Battle of the Five Armies.
Five Armies.
Yeah, Five Armies. And they go, oh my God, he's going to outdo himself, and Helm's Deep will be nothing compared to what this is going to be. And Peter himself has been very, very quick to say, I'm never trying to outdo myself. I'm only ever trying to make the movie I would want to watch. And that the most important thing for him in any battle scene, including Helm's Deep and including the Battle of the Five Armies, is following the characters you love through their emotional end, through their emotional arc, through their emotional climax, and that is what carries the gravitas. That's what makes you care about the outcome of the battle.
I've only spoken to Peter Jackson just a few times, but I love him.
Yeah.
He's so great. Last night on the carpet, I had a girl next to me, I was paired, and when one reporter just wants to ask all the questions and you can't. And he's like, sorry, what were you going to say? I was like, oh, thank you, Peter.
That's very Peter.
And he said he's such a big fan of these movies himself. And that's why he loves seeing all the fans at the premiere. Does he have that enthusiasm on set, even though he's got so much to do?
Endless enthusiasm. I mean, you just don't know where he finds the energy. He's up at the crack of dawn before anybody else. He's working later than everybody else. He's never, even when he's sleeping, he's creating, and yet he still shows up to work so enthusiastic every day. He's a bundle of joy. Can I say that?
Yes.
With a bag slung on his back.
I love him, and I also love New Zealand as well. Is there something that you miss about that country?
I've never been anywhere like New Zealand. I just love everything about that place. The nature is,
People, it's a beautiful country. The people are fantastic. They sort of have this innate wisdom. I don't know what it is. It comes from probably the land and being so far away, and they don't seem. It's weird. It's like I always thought Wellington felt like Brighton in the 50s. It's just sort of stuck. I mean, I was there 15 years ago, and there was still. I walked through the town when I went back there. This time, had a hat on and like took a stroll through town, and I was like, there was the same crystal shop that was there 15 years ago. I was like, dude, how can you sell enough crystals to be in business?
How do you pay rent?
15, yeah, you know what I mean?
And by the way, he's walking through town after having done what he did and what it meant to New Zealand, and I bet you were left alone and respected.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot of like, good on you, mate, sort of like that stuff, bro, yeah.
Yeah,
but
less,
which
oh
is
my
great.
God!
They're good people.
Very good people.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.